Alright class, this is the last video that I will do as far as introduction or welcoming. And so we are going to take a look at one last thing called the XYZ homework account. So let's go for it. So first things first, you're going to go to, I'm currently logged in, so let me log out. Okay, I'm going to go to here. So XYZ homework, and then put a little .com afterwards. So xyzhomework.com. So your book is from XYZ Textbooks. XYZ Homework is a site that is the sort of the complementary piece to the book. And so question comes up, do I need a physical textbook in my hand? You do need a textbook. Whether it's a physical textbook or an ebook, it's going to be up to you. I prefer a physical textbook in my hand. I know I got one, so I use it. But if you don't need it, there's one provided already on the site. Alright, so let's go with it here. If you're a new student, if you've never seen this before ever, you're going to click on the register as a new student right over here. And it's going to ask you for your first name, last name, email. Now email is whatever email you would like to put in. You can put in your personal email, that's fine. You can put in your West Hills College email, whichever one that you probably maybe look at more often. Alright, and then a password and a password. And when you click I agree and click on register, it's going to ask you for two things. It's going to ask for a course ID, and then it's also going to ask for an access code. The course ID is what you need to enter our class. Now, an access code, so notice it says you can have a 50-day free trial as a new student. Perfect, that's cool. So I want all of you guys to register today. You just need a course ID number. Within the next 15 days, if you want to keep this and you want to go on with the class, then you have to get an access code. Now, an access code is you allowed use of the site for the next 12 months. And so at that point, you're going to have to pay, I think it's $40 or $45 to have access to this for the rest. Alright, once you do that, you're going to be back to this page over here. You can click on this one. It's a Getting Started Guide. You can open that. Let me download this here. So this is just for you guys to get started. Where to go and how to sign in. In fact, let me just jump to, because I already have it uploaded here. So there it is for new students. The course ID number is 18828. That is what the number that you need. You need an email address and a course ID. Within the next 15 days, you need to get an access code, which costs about $45 or so to have use of the site for the next 12 months. Alright, and then it tells you how to enroll as a new student and all the good stuff here. The course ID is going to take you to the our class itself. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Alright, if not, email me. Might go over it again. Alright, let's go back to here. Alright, once you get there, it will be required to log in again. And my login is given already there. When you log in, you're going to have a list of classes. If you have more than one class, this is mine. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes over here listed. Some of them are classes just of different textbooks. Alright, the one that you want to enter is WHCC, West Hills College Kalinga, 2019 Spring, Math 64-C03. When you click on it, you're going to come to a page that looks like this. Let me give you the student version so you don't have the instructor version. It's going to look like this. So how does this all work? Let's go for it. This is probably going to be the longest video of the bunch. First things first is your calendar tells you the due dates for all your assignments. The default is 4, but if you want to extend out for the whole entire semester, just go out to 15 and you're going to see the whole entire semester. I don't know why that is so. Why is it not blocking off? Interesting. I'll have to fix that. I'm not sure why it's not showing the rest of your assignments down here. Maybe that's just the student version. I'll check on that. Alright, back up to 4. The reason why you want 4 is because when you click on the date, underneath the calendar, that's where you link to do your online homework. Now, really quick, this right here is optional. So, chapter 0, it is pre-algebra. It is optional. If you want to go to one of them, any of them, that's fine. But they're not going to be counted for you or against you on your homework. Then you jump to here, starting at 1.1, which is due next Friday. You're going to have to start on these. So let's jump to those real quick here. I'm going to just show you a flavor for the homework. 1.1, it says this right here. It says simplify this expression. 5a plus a makes, and when you click on it, notice real quick here, when you click on the input values, you can write in 6a if you like. That's fine. Then there's like a little preview over here of what you wrote in. Is a syntax okay? What it really means is the type of answer that you're giving is correct for the type of problem that you have. And so maybe let me do something that's going to look like this. It says still syntax okay. Let me do some okay, hold on. Okay, there. It's like it does not totally make sense. There's some kind of syntax error. You should not have a fraction. You should not have variables that are y and x, and then w and a h. That just does not make sense for the problem itself. So that's where you have a syntax error on your hands. But let's try 6x. I wonder if it'll give you a syntax error here. Yeah, still a syntax error. Like that x should not be there. You have a variable problem right here. And so as you put in 6a, cool. Okay. Notice if you put in some other, it's not necessarily saying that you got it right. If I put a 23a, it'll still say syntax okay because the variables line up with the variables of the problem. That's kind of where you're at on that. Okay, but notice you have a little yellow up arrow over here. If you want to use this, that's fine. Up arrow is kind of like a little palette. A lot of programs are starting to use this, and you should be able to put this in exactly how you see it on a sheet of paper. So if you have a fraction that you're trying to input, you could put a fraction, and you say, oh, on top is a x plus 2, on the bottom is x minus 5. And this should come up just exactly as you were to do this on a sheet of paper. It should come up here like this. If you want to put in some exponents, there's your little exponent button right there. So you say 5 raised to the second power. Alright, you also have these arrows that you can use to move around if you need to move around, usually left and right, but up and down for fractions. So this one we're not going to use it. This is called a subscript. This is a square root. This is any kind of root. Absolute value, parentheses. This is called the pi value. I think you've seen that before. This is called infinity, and this is called does not exist. So if there's no answer, especially in chapter 1, there'll be some stuff about no answer. Then you'll have to use this one. Okay, functions, log function. This is going to be the last chapter already. Let me get rid of this here. Log function, log sub n, the ln function, nth root again, absolute value again, e to the some kind of power. Trigonometric functions, we're not going to use those. That's for another class. Alright, so let's go for it here. So whenever you get the answer wrong, which is what I just did now, first of all you submit it real quick here. Submit. And you're going to get this little red little piece right here. Sometimes it's yellow if you got partially correct, or it's green if you got it completely correct. So I got it correct. Please don't try to click this button. Try another. That's what's going to happen is you're going to reattempt another problem, but it's going to be very similar. It won't be the same. So then you have to rework all your problems based upon that right there. And so if you get it correct, you can put in that. Some other stuff here. There's some videos that you can do. It takes you to the ebook, which we'll talk about in just a bit here. You know, there's some sample videos that are very close to your problem. Okay. The other issue is you don't have an infinite amount of times to attempt the problem. I've set it default as 3. We'll see how this works. But you have 3 attempts to do this problem correctly. So if you're still stuck and you're like, I have no clue, what you want to do is you want to click on this, post this question in the forum, and this will post it to the rest of the students in the class. I will be coming into the forum to see how things are going. If there's a question that everybody is stuck on, I will answer that question, and we'll sort of do it that way. And it seems like it works the best that way. So I have to answer individual questions from each student. All right, let's take a look at the video. And it's about maybe like 80% effective. So notice on the bottom here, it takes you to the example problem that is similar that's in the textbook. So you have 4 different people answering the question. There's even a Spanish version. And there's 3 problems. It's this one, this one, this one. So you may want to go back to say, hey, which one is this similar? I think it's similar to the first one, maybe the second one. Yeah, first one, because it's addition. And so then you want to do it that way. And so that's a good way to sort of take a look at it. Another way is to click on ebook, and it'll take you to the ebook, which we'll talk about just a little bit. Let me give you a quick preview though. It'll take you to the section that you're working on. So then you kind of click down here to, oh, that's how they did it. So then we go from there to finish up the problem. More on the ebook later. Alright, so hopefully that at least gives you a quick introduction to the homework and the homework assignments that we have here. I'm going to leave this page since I'm not submitting the work. Alright, calendar's there. Now let's jump to the ebook. Here it is. So notice a few little things here on this page. It's asking me to log in again. So the first time you log in, that little access code that you're given, please keep it with you because you may have to use it again for this one. And sometimes if you use Internet Explorer, you'll be logged in. So once you log into the XYZ homework, there should already be a login to this one, to the ebook. But sometimes it doesn't. So you want to put in your credentials again, put in your passcode, click on Remember Me, and you're logged in, because this will give you a little bit more different tools on here. So first things first, let's check this out. Let's go to page. Let's see, let me see if table of contents works. Sometimes it does. I think it works with Internet Explorer better. I'm on Firefox right now. And so let's go through it here. Let's just kind of jump up to the top here. This is section 1.2. And this is exactly how the PDF of the book works here. So if you want to try additional problems, that's cool, go for it. If you want to try some match problems that correspond to the example problems, that's cool too. It's all for you. It's however much you want to work at it here. But as you go down here, they'll give you introduction to the section. These guys are usually definitions or something you should know or review. And then for each example problem here, there's also some videos. So there's some practice problems if you like. Try it, see if you answer it correctly here. Oh no, watch the video, read the textbook again. So the way the author has designed it is very self-paced and self-regulated here. Another thing that you can do is you can click on this little math video and open up the little player on the side right over here. And so you have, again, 3 people doing it, or you can scroll down here. And so this is the same stuff right here. Notice the problem is exactly the same. There's this negative to a solution, and then to a solution to this. And again, you have 4 different people, sometimes 3 different people answering it. So lots of help here for you to do it. All right, so if you're more like a reader and you really want to follow the textbook and get it from the textbook, go for it, because that's what it is. Now the practice problems in the back right over here, this problem set is not for you guys unless you really want to try it yourself. You do have answers to them to see if you're doing them correctly. But you have your online homework to do. That's what you have. That's what you want to be able to finish up. All right. Let's go back to this page here. Then you have this little introduction to homework here. It is worth 10 points. It was worth 7 points, and it's just a quick. It's 7 questions just to get you started on plugging in the homework answers here. It'll start out very slow. How do you plug in decimals? It'll jump to how do you list answers? And so it's a pretty cool sort to go through just to make sure. There's your how do you input fractions, square roots, and exponents. And so it'll guide you to that process right over here. It is worth points for your grade. So yes, you want to go through this here. This is part of your grade over here. Alright, so I'll let you guys do that. Back to the class itself. And then if you forget how to use that little math quill editor, here's just if you want to download this here, the little quick guide how to use it. That little up arrow over here, and that's what we were talking about last time. Here is the basic functions here, and so it tells you how to enter all the different symbols that if you want to use it as well. Alright, so chapter 0 is optional. We do start in chapter 1. That's where we start. And so we go from there. So if you click on here, that's kind of interesting. If you click on here, you'll get back to your homework page right here. That's exactly where we were before. Alright, if you want to do it that way. But most students, what they do, they just go off the calendar itself. They click on the due date for it, and they're going for it. I need to adjust the times. I just saw that. I'm going to adjust the time so it is due at 11 p.m. every single time. So an hour before midnight. Alright, ebook cover, that's going to be of help to you here, and the homework, and you pretty much just go at it. Let me just going to give you the gradebook. My gradebook looks a little different from yours. Oh, let me get out of the student view. That's what I need to do. Go back to instructor view. Okay, so notice for chapter 0, which is the pre-algebra, it's not counted in your gradebook. You don't need to do it unless you want to, just for practice sake. Okay, your homework assignment really starts in 1.1, and as you look through it, notice there are about 15 to 20 questions per section. That's what you have, 15 to 20 questions, sometimes 18. And I'm not sure why it stops in 3.7, so we'll do that. And then there's your 7 points. Your 7 points as the intro to XYZ homework. That one is also counted towards your grade. Alright, so make sure you do that, even though it doesn't state it on the calendar. So now comes up is how do you progress through the class? What do you do? How do you do this? Well, you are going to go to a YouTube channel. Let me show it to you here. You're going to go to a YouTube channel, and you're going to search for Math 4B. Math 4B is something I started a long time ago. And you're going to click on this little gray circle, and you're going to go to playlists right over here. And the playlist that you want to get to is, let me go on created playlists here because I have a lot of other stuff here. My son uses it for his stuff. My daughter uses it to create slime videos. So there's some training for faculty over here. So it's all encompassing here. For you guys, you want to go to M64, Math 64 lectures. There are 42 lectures here. As you click on it, you're going to come up with, here's your lectures pretty much. And here it is. Here's all your let's go through this here. So the Math 64 lectures here. Here's a chapter 0, sections 1 and 2. Here's chapter 0, sections 3 and 4. Here's chapter 0, sections 5, 6, and 7. So this book is really a combination of two different textbooks before. We used to have elementary and Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 separated. This book sort of combines them together. So the first title is the title for the Math 64 stuff. The stuff in parentheses is the old title for Math 61. So they're all in order. I just put them all in. Let me just kind of scroll all the way to the bottom to make sure I have them all in. That's the last one I did here. So chapter 10, sections 4, 5, and 6. I need to move this one up. I'll do that after the video's over here. So you have all the videos you need for the whole entire semester. That deleted video, that's something I need to delete because section 8 is the last section in chapter 5 when we go to 6. So that's okay if it's deleted. So anyways, here are your lectures. You go to this playlist and you pretty much have my lectures that I did inside the classroom that corresponds to the lectures in the textbook. Alright, so if you're going to do chapter 1 today or tomorrow, it's an hour and 3 minutes, but it also covers sections 1, 2, and 3. So you don't need to watch all of it. Alright, and let me give you a flavor here. So in the Math 64 textbook, this is chapter 1. Sections 1, 2, and 3. In the old Math 61 textbook, it's chapter 2, so therefore you see chapter 2 here. But as long as you're clicking on the correct video, This is Chapter 1, Section 1 of the Math 64 textbook. So that's, as long as you have simplifying expressions and that's what you're doing, you're great. The title should be the thing that you're making sure corresponds to what you're doing. And so I've triple checked these. These are all correct. They do correspond correctly to what we're doing. Alright, you do have, so it's called PP homework, and that's called paper pencil homework. This is for the face-to-face class. One of the tougher homework sections, I sometimes have done the homework already for them, just it's a tough section, 1.6. So if you want to go through it as well, just to give you a flavor of the homework, that's fine, but paper pencil homework is from the textbook itself. That doesn't align to you guys. As I go through these, and if we do see some XYZ homework sections that need to be made, and I'll put in XYZ homework as opposed to PP homework. Alright, so hopefully there it is. There's all your lectures for the whole entire semester. Hopefully you use this site. Hopefully it's going to be a great benefit to you to make sure that you got this situated. So the way I would do it, I would watch the lecture. I would try the example problems as I'm going through it, like this one right here. I'll try these. Try that, and then by then you should be able to do most of the homework assignments. Now I would say most because for the homework I will throw in some little bit challenging questions on the homework. Let you guys try to figure those out. Try them once, try them twice, and then post it to the forum if you still have difficulty with it. Alright, so that is your lectures. Just get out a sheet of paper if you want to follow along in the lecture, and just kind of follow along in the lecture style as well if you want to. You don't copy all of these down. This is not to turn in. This is for your own information. You practice it. You just practice it as if you're sitting in a classroom. I would also suggest is that you watch just section 1.1 first. So after you finish this right here, okay, and then don't go to the next section. Don't do that. Let's stop there and then do your 1.1 homework online on XYZ, and then once that is set, then you go on to the next section, so you don't confuse yourself. So you don't have to watch the full video ever to do it. So you have choices here. You can either, if you're a reader, you can read the textbook with the helpful videos made by the author and pretty much the author's teacher assistants, or you can watch my videos, and it's a classroom style. There's people asking me questions, I'm answering them, and it kind of goes back and forth, and we're going through a classroom. That's kind of what this is, and you go from there. And so notice this one is about 20 minutes, and usually each section is about 20 to 30 minutes each, usually more closer to the 20 minutes. Some are even 10 minutes, just depending on the section itself. So wish you the best in the class. Hopefully I've given you enough resources to get you guys started and to have success in the class. I wish you the best as you guys go through this class, and thank you so much.